It's that time of year for top 10 everything, and Nintendo got in on the game by posting their top 10 and also top 20 sellers on the Switch News tab. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and we're discussing this interesting list. Now, there's not a whole lot of context, but based on what we can tell and surmise, this is a list of sales figures that combines both physical and digital copies of the games. Now, it was in the American News tab, so we're going to guess that it's United States sales only, but nonetheless, it's a very interesting list. I figured I'd quickly go through that list for you, and then we are going to discuss. So, as you might expect, the list begins with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 1. Number 2 is Super Mario Odyssey. Number 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 4, Splatoon 2. Number 5, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Number 6, ARMS. Number 7, 1-2 Switch. 8, Minecraft. 9, Stardew Valley. 10, Snipperclips. 11, Sonic Mania. 12, Pokken Tournament DX. 13, Super Bomberman R. 14, Skyrim. 15, Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. 16, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 17, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. 18, Puyo Puyo Tetris. 19, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. And finally, 20, Overcooked Special Edition. Gabe, what stands out to you?
ARMS being so hard. Like, it's number 6. That is really high. Also, Super Batman, Bomberman R being at number 13. That's a little iffy to me. I think, to me, those are the two that absolutely just automatically, like, scream at me and say, hey, this is weird.
Yeah. To me, the one, and I know a lot of people pointed this out, but Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle being above ARMS. We know that ARMS sold over 1 million copies, and we know that Splatoon 2 sold at least 2.5 based on Reggie's, 1 out of every 4 Switch owners has Splatoon 2. So that, again, we have no context really if this is America only, if this is worldwide, digital, physical, but in theory, just based even on, percentages and pieces of the puzzle, Mario plus Rabbids then sold between 1 and 2.5 million copies, which is awesome for a third-party game on Switch.
For sure. After that, though, 1-2 Switch at number 7 is also a little like that many people bought 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, a lot of people want to milk those cows, Gabe. Plus, I think, this list is very launch window heavy. If you look, a lot of it is due to time. People pointing out, why isn't Rocket League on there? Which I think is the strangest omission, since it seems to be one of the top sellers on eShop consistently. Also, no SteamWorld Dig 2, which we know was reported to have very good sales. But, yeah, I'm honestly surprised to see Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is only been out 3 weeks at this point, up there. I love that Overcooked made the list. I think that's fantastic. And then, personally, Sonic Mania at 11, above things like Skyrim, Street Fighter, Pokken, pretty good.
And you can fill me in. Did we see something about like Skyrim selling around 500,000 copies today?
I know it sold well. I know it was on the list for quite a while on there, but I don't know exact sales figures of what that ended up selling. I know that the VR version outsold the Switch version in the UK back at launch. I don't know what the current version's at, but again, if we're looking at this, trying to compare with other things, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. A while ago, they said that Ultra Street Fighter sold 500,000 copies. So, in theory, that would mean that Skyrim sold more than that?
Here, I have a little bit of stuff to you from at Nintendo Today. They tweeted a story that Nintendo released the top-selling games, which is what we were talking about. It says, also, we know that Ultra Street Fighter 2, and this is what you just mentioned, was confirmed at just under 500,000 in sales back in August. Ultra Street Fighter 2 comes in at 15 on the list, so 15 titles have sold at least 500,000 copies, including Skyrim. So that's where the 500,000 number that I was getting from was coming from.
Okay, yeah, that's true, and they were saying that Xenoverse 2 sold 400,000 copies. So, Rocket League not on there, Golf Story not on there, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 not on there, SteamWorld Dig 2 not on there. That means that all of these games sold, what I would say is pretty darn well. And that's a lot of them. I think the fact that we're getting a lot of software with pretty good numbers is a very, very good sign. You know, people say like, oh, is there too many games on Switch, over 500 titles released? And yeah, the eShop can get a little crowded at times. But all of these titles are quality, and them all selling at that rate is pretty awesome.
I mean, I might disagree with some of them being quality, but, you know, that's...
Okay, I could pick out like 2 that I would personally shop. Maybe one. I think Bomberman R is the only title I like would not want to play.
Well, I never want to play 1 to Switch. So.
I think it's still fun.
But regardless, I want to talk a little bit about Xenoblade, just because it's been out for such a little amount of time, and I think it deserves praise. If it truly is like the 17th best-selling game on Switch this year, like that's really, really cool. For it being like a niche JRPG that, you know, obviously doesn't have that wide appeal, I think that's really, really good.
Yeah, I think it shows also that the Switch travels across many genres. The one thing I will point out is that there's no Doom on this list. I think that's interesting that Skyrim was so much more popular than Doom. I mean, I guess that's predictable, but I'm a little sad that Doom didn't get on there.
Yeah, so other than Rocket League and Doom, like you just mentioned, anything else that like you kind of wish was on here?
I thought SteamWorld Dig 2.
SteamWorld Dig, that's the one for you?
Yeah, I thought that would be on there. Yeah, Rocket League, I guess. You know, it's cool. I think that Overcooked did get on there. Golf Story, I'm sure some people would like to see on there. It's interesting to me that Stardew Valley is so high on the list, and things like Golf Story, SteamWorld Dig 2 aren't even on the list.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of these titles, you know, Shovel Knight, that's a day one. Puyo Puyo, Bomberman R, 1-2 Switch, Snipper Clips, and not to, you know, slight the quality of any of those or the fun of any of those, but again, this is a very launch-heavy list. Save for, you know, Xenoblade. Really, I guess Xenoblade is the... I mean, Binding of Isaac was very early on. I guess Skyrim's decently recent. Obviously Mario, but, you know, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
Arms and Rabbids both being up there, I think, is awesome.
Yeah, both those games are great, and I think they deserve it. I am glad that Mario's above ARMS, because I like Mario way better. Rabbids Mario is the one I'm speaking about here. Ubisoft did a super good job with that game, and it is good to see them have success, because hopefully that means that we either see a sequel, or them have a chance to mess around with another franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to point out that the top 7 games, as well as 8 of the top 10, are exclusives, which I think is really cool. And I guess you could argue that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a port, but... Okay, so we can say 7 of the top 10 then, and 6 of the first 7 games are exclusive, which is really, really strong, especially in an era when exclusives seem to be dwindling. I know Sony has a bunch for 2018, but not a lot this year, and Xbox continues to struggle to find their franchises. Nintendo, on the other hand, coming in super hot. I think what'll be interesting to see is what does this list look like next year? You know, we always hear about evergreen titles for Nintendo. How many of these games do you think, Gabe, maintain this list? I mean, are we going to see the same top 4 by the end of 2018? Even in I know like Lifetime probably, but even in 2018, I would not be surprised to see many of these same titles, especially the top 5, 6, 7 games, be the same top sellers in 2018 as that Switch base continues to expand into the 20 million, range, or even beyond.
You said 6 and 7. I don't think ARMS or 1-2 Switch are gonna like remain up there.
You think they've kind of tapped out?
Yeah. I think that they've reached their heights, and that's about it. Even though they're doing a really good job with updating ARMS. But, Mario Kart and Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, yeah, those are absolutely like staples of the Switch going forward. Probably the same with Splatoon 2. That's doing super well as well. I feel like maybe Mario plus Rabbids can kind of fall by the wayside. Possibly. I don't want it to. But I feel like it might. And I guess it just depends on the quality of Nintendo's outings for next year. Does like Kirby and Yoshi sell as much? No, probably. Yeah. But a Smash port absolutely would. If you're right, and we get Metroid, that hopefully cracks like something. Same with Pokemon. If it happens, I mean, who knows?
Right. It'd be interesting to see how something like Fire Emblem, stacks up against like Splatoon, especially in the next year. And I do wonder also how the indie games will fare in 2018. Does Nintendo develop a better system for filtering as we get 600, 700, 800, 900 Switch games? How are they going to categorize and keep those top tier, polished, and just pristine titles at the forefront of gamers' minds? Do we see stuff like Snipperclips, Stardew Valley, Sonic Mania continue to trend and sell well, or will it be, the Wargrooves and the Celestes and Hollow Knight, newer releases that continually climb the charts?
Yeah, at some point, some of these things are going to be ushered out. Like, do I think that Ultra Street Fighter 2 remains a here forever? No way. The games you mentioned can easily just keep taking some of these spots, I think.
I think stuff like Stardew Valley and Sonic, Minecraft, Snipperclips, I guess that 8 through 11, I could see those holding. I think everything below that absolutely is out by next year. I don't think any of those games, Pokken, Bomberman, Skyrim, Street Fighter, I mean, we're getting a new Street Fighter collection, Binding of Isaac, Xenoblade, I don't think any of those hold. I could see some of the top 5 holding, and then 6, 7 drop out, 8, 9, 10, 11, a couple of those maybe stay in. But yeah, it'll be very interesting, and I'd love to, take a Polaroid of this video and then put it in a time capsule. You ever do that? You ever make a time capsule when you were in grade school?
I was so excited that the day of the time capsule. I don't remember what I put in there, but I was really excited to put it in.
I have no idea what I put in, but I definitely made one. And
Wait, let me finish. Do we ever dig them up? Is my question.
Or
are they meant for someone else to pick them up?
Oh, yeah, maybe that.
I think they're meant for someone else to find them.
Yeah, it's a random person.
Yeah, like
after
years
the apocalypse.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we're going to dig this one up next year, so we'll definitely remember this video and check back on it by the end of 2018. In the meantime, let us know what you think of this top 20 sellers list. If there's anything that surprises you that's either higher, lower, or not on here at all, let us know. Give us your take. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, all of its games, and the upcoming year. Until next time, for myself and Gabe, thanks so much. We love you. Switch Force, out.